This is the Groom Lake test site, also known as Area 51, out in the Nevada desert, about 30 miles from Las Vegas. It's said to be America's highest security installation. It's so secret that the government has bought up nearly 1 million acres of the land surrounding it to shield it from public view. Its employees are flown in on specially chartered planes with blacked-out windows. And 3 consecutive presidents have issued directives keeping all details about the base and its operations sealed from public disclosure. Its guards have the right to use deadly force. And despite Russian satellite photos that clearly show the hangars, support buildings, and runway, the government still denies that it exists. For 50 years, it's been home to American black projects, top secret research and development of advanced technology that the government doesn't want you to know about.
When you go to work out at those locations, you sign away your constitutional rights. You sign a piece of paper saying that if you violate your security agreement and you discuss programs that you're working on without a trial, without right of appeal, you're going to go to Leavenworth Federal Penitentiary for 20 years. That's a real big incentive to keep your mouth shut.
Now, the real question, I suppose, is are there any flying saucers out there?
In 1988, a young scientist was recruited to work out there on what he was told was a classified propulsion project. But it was much more than that. The scientist was Bob Lazar.
The base is against the side of a mountain, or small mountain, big hill. There are 9 hangar doors, and the hangar doors are not just shiny metal out in the desert. They are painted or sprayed with a sand texture to them, and from what I can ascertain, to prevent satellites from photographing the installation, so they look like the mountain range. It was pretty effective from what I could see.
He worked at an underground facility called S4. His mission, to reverse engineer the technology of a recovered spacecraft of unknown origin.
The whole aim of the project was to take these craft, or the one in particular that I was working on, and try and duplicate its systems and subsystems with earthly materials. When I was brought in by bus, normally we had gone around to the left side of the installation and entered the door there, and for the first time, one of the hangar doors, the one on the end, was open. The bus drove up and we stopped there, and clear as day, in the hangar, taking up almost all the hangar, was the disc. Looked like something right out of a science fiction movie, and we stopped, got out, and for the first time I was led in through that door. And as I walked in there, I thought, well, this is the new advanced aircraft we've been working on, and this is why people keep seeing flying saucers, because it's ours and we've just been testing it, probably for all these years.
I am convinced, based on my research and the individuals whom I've had contact in the U.S. intelligence community, that the U.S. government does indeed have craft that meet the description of many of the UFO reports.
I've spoken to several people who've seen UFOs or disc-shaped craft out there. An attorney who lives here in town who has seen one. He saw one land outside the boundaries of Area 51. I've spoken to a very high-level managerial type who worked for a defense contractor out there for a number of years from a very respectable, reputable family. His credentials are beyond question, but he doesn't want his name or face used, and he has seen them many times.
I'm convinced beyond doubt that we have recovered aircraft, alien vehicles, that we have made contact with aliens, that we are communicating with them in some way or form, and that we have vehicles and bodies in preservation.
Bob Lazar was one of 22 men who had majestic clearance. Each one worked on a different element of the craft.
One of the things I worked on was a flying disc simulator to train pilots to to fly this strange-looking craft designed for humans to fly, not for any extraterrestrials to fly.
I was brought into the hangar for one of the short duration tests, and the craft was already outside on the lake bed and lifted off silently and was drifted around for a bit, set back down, and that was pretty much of a marvelous sight. It's a huge thing. It's like seeing a house lift off the ground quietly. It's just, you can't imagine the energy involved to do that and not to make any noise at all.
In 1988, Bob Lazar made a decision that changed his life forever. He went public.
They threatened my wife. They threatened to kill my wife. They said they'd stop at nothing. They said they thought they made that very clear. They couldn't believe that I had taken anyone out there to show them that, much less left with information like the flight test data, and wanted to know what else I had said, who else I had told specifically. They were crazy. They really were. They were completely out of control.
Are there crash saucers out at Area 51? Have we made alien contact? Is there a UFO cover-up at the highest level of government?
I think it's most likely that Bob Lazar was indeed set up to be the conduit for certain information relating to this extraterrestrial project.
I think that too many people's butts are on the line with this, that they lied to us too long, that a lot of people have stolen legitimate national security money to keep this cover-up going, that they have perpetuated disinformation schemes.
They are here, whoever they are, wherever they came from, whatever they're doing. Other intelligences are messing around on our planet.
The Air Force knows that there was a crash saucer, there were alien bodies recovered, that there have been aircraft that have gone up to chase UFOs and have not come back. They know that we're dealing with the biggest story of the millennium.